the graduating class of 2021. Please remain standing after our graduates have entered the field for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our 2021 graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our playing of our national anthem. The privilege of this event was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute. And everyone able, please remain standing as the national anthem is played.
Good evening. Please be seated. Welcome to Gerba Field on the campus of Hazel Park High School for the Class of 2021 Commencement Ceremony. My name is Ken Milch. I'm the proud principal of Hazel Park High School. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome you to our 128th Commencement Ceremony. At this time, I'd like to introduce the members of the Board of Education. Ask that they are recognized for their dedication to ensuring that all students in Hazel Park have access to a quality education. President Laura Adkins, Vice President Rachel Noth, Secretary Beverly Hinton, Treasurer Heidi Fortress, Trustee Dawn Rice, and Trustee Christy Schlock. The vision for our district and your students' education is guided by our superintendent, Dr. Amy Krupe. We're also joined by Central Office Administration, Dr. Carla Postel, Director of Curriculum Integration and Instruction, Mr. Nick Nugent, Director of Human Resources, Mr. Brad Wilkins, Director of Technology, and our Building Administration, Assistant Principal Mrs. Latoya Hall-King, and Dr. David Mylard. Sorry, I think I skipped someone. Dr. Stephanie Dolmage from our Central Office, Director of 21st Century Learning. And I believe I skipped a trustee, Melissa Baldwin from our Board of Education. Thank you. Please also recognize the remarkably dedicated teachers and counselors, many of whom have joined us today, whose commitment, support, and influence have guided our students on their journey from their earliest experiences in preschool and kindergarten, all through elementary school and junior high school, and finally at Hazel Park High School. And that journey would not have been possible without our college advisor, Ms. Desiree Quinn, Promise Zone Director, Mr. Brandon Gleaton, our secretarial staff, custodial staff, cafeteria staff, coaches, paraprofessionals, and security team. We're joined by our counseling team, Mrs. Jocelyn Casselou, Mrs. Andrea Grove, and Mrs. Lindsay Mitchell. Lastly, many thanks to your class advisors, Mr. Jared Nabosny and Mr. Jason Guthrie, for their remarkable work in organizing today's event. Families and friends of the class of 2021, congratulations to you and your graduates on reaching this milestone. Your appearance here today is both the culmination of a journey and the beginning of a new one. It is both a professional as well as a deeply personal and emotional experience for us as we say farewell to all of you. As the proud principal of Hazel Park High School, I do not say lightly that I will never forget you. I'd also like to acknowledge the parents, family members, friends, and neighbors for your support of these students. From kindergarten to these abbreviated past 2 years, you were there. For every physics test, you remember a child learning to tie her shoes. For every essay about Antigone, you remember backwards letters and the discovery that LMNO wasn't just one letter. From last-minute projects that you just found out were due tomorrow on a Sunday night, to the shift to remote learning and back to in-person learning, and then remote again and back to in-person, whoever thought your teenager would say they missed school? You've been a great support network. And students in the class of 21, let's have a round of applause for some of the people who got you here. And now I'd like to offer to all of you what I hope will be comforting and reassuring words, knowing I'm not the reason you came today. I will be brief. It is about this time of year that invariably some graduate somewhere, and Hazel Park is no exception, refers to a diploma as, quote, just a piece of paper, or some variation of that thought. I've heard this expressed as the high school as well as the college level, and in some ways that's true. It is just a piece of paper, and it doesn't necessarily get you a job, a discount on your car insurance, or free coffee at your favorite donut shop. It's what that paper and the signatures on it represent that will shape how you see its value and how you view yourself in the world. To that end, allow me to tell you about a few other things, graduates, that are just pieces of paper. The Declaration of Independence, the Gettysburg Address, the Emancipation Proclamation, Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, those little cards the Detroit Lions draft picks are written on. You know what, that's a bad example. A petition with thousands of signatures on it, a marriage license, and the diploma some of you will get as college or trade school graduates, medical or law school graduates, or veterans of the military. Those pieces of paper have little to no value by themselves if we don't believe in their value, live by what they represent, or honor what was written by the people who wrote them. So the question to each of you today, graduates, is what will you do with it? Sure, framing it seems like a good idea. I still have my high school diploma. But what will you do with what it represents? Your high school diploma represents the ability to take the next step, whatever direction that step happens to be for you. I'm honored to have put my signature on your high school diploma. I submitted that signature in February as legibly as I could, and the weight of it hit me. My signature meant something, spoke for something, and what I represent with the responsibility given to me. But the signatures on that diploma aren't important by themselves, it's what they represent. It's a sign of our commitment, all the folks seated here, our commitment to your education, your safety, your needs. To me personally, it represents my own education, my responsibility, my family, and the legacy, that's a big word, that I create for myself as a leader. In short, that piece of paper represents not only your hard work, but the signatures affixed to it represent our commitment to you. When I came across my own high school diploma recently, signed by my high school principal, Mr. Cecil Ramsey, still alive and retired in Florida, he's a photographer now, one of my children asked, "Dad, do you get to sign the diplomas?" And then suddenly Mr. Ramsey's signature took on a new meaning. There are times that your signature is nothing more than an acknowledgement that you've received something. And other times where it represents a firm commitment to something. More than anything else, class of 2021, more than any physical signature, your hard work, your commitment, your honor, your love, and your excellence is the real autograph you leave. What will your signature look like? Well, starting now, as you move on to what you've jokingly called adulting, you get to make your mark and leave your signature. Class of 2021, I can't wait to see what you write. At this time, I'm pleased to welcome our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Amy Krupe, to the podium for her opening message.
Good evening. Board of Education, administration, Hazel Park staff, families, community members, and our distinguished guests, the witfully smart graduating class of 2021. I am once again honored and humbled to speak as we celebrate the graduates this year. I couldn't be more proud to be standing in front of you celebrating over $4.3 million of scholarships and grants. These young adults are accepted into over 50 colleges and universities, will ultimately be attending 18 colleges and universities, 2 trade schools across the country in the fall. But let us not forget, last and certainly not least, our 2 service people going into the Army and the Navy. I'm going to say this class has risen above the fray, looked the last 2 years of the pandemic in the eye and said, we're going to be the difference. I believe this with all my heart. Graduates, it's easy for all of us adults to talk about how difficult the last several years have been and talk about all the things that have been lost. However, you are certainly far more than the last 2 years, and your parents, families, coaches, confidants, friends, community members, and teachers know then that you are more than up for the challenge that awaits for you. I have the utmost of confidence that as I was watching all of you at the car parade on Friday and spending time with many of you over the last 6 to 18 months will not hurt you, but would help you be the difference that our world needs because you have gained far more than you have lost. You are the generation that all of us are looking for and to make a substantial difference of change in the world. You are the generation that will remember any of the words that are out here today about how much we very care and how much we are proud of you. Please remember everything about this speech, about how we think you are going to be the difference. As young adults, you as graduates have learned and already experienced what it means to persevere. Not only did you as students have to learn in different environments, at home, at school, on Zoom, with masks, 6 feet apart, don't touch, don't breathe, don't look, but you had to work through the social emotional struggles, motivational struggles, sleep struggles, engagement struggles, and figuring out how to graduate in an environment that might not be conducive to you. Many of you were out working on jobs, living in many ways that will have prepared you already for college and adulthood. You are ready to go. Steps ahead of you where other classes have been. Adulthood and don't come easy. You already know how to be successful. You already know how to persevere. You have to figure out that there are many ways to get to the end result, and it's not always easy. Be the difference. Continue to persevere. Get to the finish line of where you're going. The last 18 months of our life have given us time for families and friends, together in the same venue, eating together, talking, sharing, caring for each other, and experiencing time together like never before. I've seen and heard about family gatherings, game nights, Zoom activities, studying sessions, and maybe a little bit more. As a group of young adults, you should not have to remember as you move on the importance of families, friends, and being together. If we can't remember due to the last 18 months how important our family and friends are, or to slow down and take care of each other, I'm not sure what will make us remember to do so. It is so easy as we get swept away with our new adventures to not stop and to give notice to our friends who are struggling, or even succeeding for that matter, or a sibling who wants to chat, or even our parents who really just miss you. I know that you are ready to be the difference. You will remember to slow down as you move forward, take time for yourself and those around you who are important to you. Keep those powerful connections you have made during these last several years. Take time to be together and eat dinner with your family, parents, or siblings. Send Zoom chats just to be there. Time together is precious, and so are your relationships. Graduates, over the last 2 years, our country has experienced changes that all of you as adults can and will be a part of carrying it forward. I've heard so many of your voices already standing up for what you believe in to be your truth, advocating for change, equity, or just wanting to be heard. Change does not happen. Our voices are hard work, and the decisions we make every day contribute to why our world chooses to improve. This may be through organizations at colleges, through your churches in your community, or simply by participating here in Hazel Park, Ferndale, or nearby by helping maybe just trash in the park. There is no task or project that is too small. Remember, people do not always like change. However, had we not had change throughout history, where would many of us be today? I know Hazel Park has given you the ability to use your voice for positive and equitable change. I am confident you will be the difference. Hazel Park students, as a graduate, I was the first one in my family to complete things in life. Most important for me was my doctorate. I know many of you are in the same situation, whether it be an advanced college degree, traveling around the world, or skydiving. Decide what that may be for you. What is your why? You are all prepared and in a position to do and be whatever it is that you want to do and be, what and who you want to be. Hard work will come to a great end. Anything you want, go out and have it in the world and capture it. It may be a struggle, but I believe in all of you. You can be the difference. Whether you have decided to go to the Army or U of M, Michigan State, or be a chef at a restaurant, we know that you will be amazing in the world. Go and know that Hazel Park Schools is watching you with love, pride, and admiration for the kind, talented, and courageous adults that you are. And as always, we look forward to seeing the paths that you take. Take them and be the difference.
Thank you, Dr. Krupe. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Ms. Candace Squire.
Hello, everyone. Before I begin, I want to thank all of you for being here. But I especially want to say thank you to my family, friends, and all of the faculty that encouraged and convinced me to deliver this speech to you all today. If it weren't for them, I don't think I would have, and I've worked so hard throughout high school that I know I would have regretted not doing so. I heard so many times that these 4 years would fly by, and honestly, I never believed them. But let me just say, they were right. As cliche as it may sound, these 4 years flew by in the blink of an eye. When I was first asked to give this speech, I had no idea what I wanted to say. But as I reflected on the last 4 years, I found one common theme among all the memories, and that was change. Our class has faced so much change, whether it was a change in school policy, new teachers and principals, or, a pandemic. This year in particular has been all about change and adapting to a new norm. And as I'm sure we have all heard before, change is not easy. I can tell you all that this school year hasn't been easy for any of us. There is a constant worry about whether we would be virtual or in person on that particular week. We would come to school and see fewer and fewer people in the halls, and we had the dreadful thought about whether or not we were going to have a prom or a graduation. But the one thing that made it all more tolerable was that we, the class of 2021, faced this change together. One thing that I admire about our class is that even though we may procrastinate and we may complain, we have the ability to overcome everything. Our means to do so might have been through long rants that took place on FaceTime calls or during lunch, which always seemed to end with the phrase, "I'm going to drop out." But look at where we are right now. One paper and handshake or elbow bump away from the beginning of a new chapter in our lives. And that's just it. No matter how stressed, overwhelmed, or angry at times we were, we always jumped over every obstacle in our way. And with that being said, I have a James Baldwin quote that I would like to share with all of you. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. In high school, we have learned that we can't run away from our problems. Ignoring our problems doesn't make them disappear, and it won't solve anything. As a class that has had way too many curveballs thrown at us, we learned that even when things seem impossible, everything always works out in the end. It is through time and change that we grow to become better than the person we were yesterday. Now, class, as we graduate, let's not forget to thank Google, Heimler's History, Coffee, and Copy and Paste for getting us through these challenging years. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2021. We did it. And now, to do the senior address, we have Senior Class Secretary Sarah Gajos.
Good evening, everyone, and hello, senior class of 2021. As many of you may know, the 4 years that make up your high school experience are often difficult. It is the time where you try your best to discover who you are, even though that may result in many awkward phases and cringy outfit choices. High school is also the time where many of the dreams that we had as children come true. When I was 8, I watched Legally Blonde for the first time and was completely amazed. Not only was it a hilarious movie, but it also gave us the feminist icon, Elle Woods. Even when everyone told her that she would not succeed because there were others better than her. She persevered, encouraging everyone to strive for what they wanted. Although this movie was fantastic, the one scene that stuck with me was when Elle was chosen to speak at her law school graduation. From that moment, one of my dreams became making a speech at my own graduation. And here I am, making that dream come true. As a class, and as members of Gen Z, we have been known to use our voices to advocate for what we believe to be right. And I know that we will continue to do so in the future. Because of this, I have chosen a quote from Captain America: Civil War. Compromise where you can. Where you can't, don't. Even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right. Even if the whole world is telling you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look them in the eye, and say, no, you move. If there is one thing that high school has taught us, it would be that we can never give up. There is always going to be someone who disagrees with you or tries to rain on your parade. But even when the world appears to be crumbling, I ask that you hold your head high, because it is through perseverance that we can make a difference. We are the change makers. Our hard work, dedication, and resilience has gotten us not only to graduation, but through a pandemic as well. We did that. We are here. There is a reason that our class song is Memories by Maroon 5. That reason being that high school has allowed us to make some of the best memories of our lives. Whether it was in class, clubs, sports, or with friends, we always found a way to make each other laugh while creating inside jokes along the way. Freshman year, we were giving each other nicknames in history class. Shout out if you still remember yours. I honestly cannot tell you why, but many of us also had an obsession with pomegranates. Sophomore year, we learned to remember that Fe was the symbol for iron and cried at the end of Mice and Men. We also developed one of my all-time favorite inside jokes, and I am sure that no one in that class will ever forget it. Oceana. Junior year, many of us discovered that we despised the unit circle and using Space Cat. This was also the year that a certain teacher decided to randomly drop a textbook during class, literally making me scream. You know who you are. Finally, during senior year, a lot of us developed coffee addictions while putting way too many all-nighters. We did miss out on a lot, but somehow still managed to make the best of it by roasting each other over Zoom. The memories made during the past 4 years are some that we will carry with us forever, and I am so grateful for all of them. Before I go, I would like to say thank you to my mom for always believing in me when I cannot do so myself. And thank you to my siblings for listening to my many, many Snapchat rants. I love you too. To the teachers and staff that pushed me to be where I am right now, standing in front of you, droning on and on, thank you. Thank you for the stories about how you were going to lose your marbles but only had one, and for the random science jokes that always made me laugh. Thank you for allowing me to talk endlessly about Marvel, and most importantly, thank you for being there for me when I needed someone to talk to. To the class of 2021, I have decided to leave you with a message from a woman that I greatly respect and admire. Always remember that you can and you will. Congratulations, guys. Now let's go and take on the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Candace. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Assistant Principal, Mrs. LaToya Hall-King.
Good evening, guests and graduating class. I have the honor of introducing academic distinction. Based on their work academically, 2 students have distinguished themselves among their peers as the valedictorian and salutatorian. Their drive, perseverance, determination, and dedication has earned them the highest academic honors of the graduating class of 2021. The valedictorian earns the highest grade point average among their graduating class, while the salutatorian earns the second highest grade point average. To be considered as a valedictorian or salutatorian, students must meet the following criteria: complete classes in advanced placement, English 11, advanced placement English 12, pre-calculus or calculus, and must have taken biology, chemistry, and physics. Candidates are not permitted to drop or retake a class to improve their grade point average. The class of 2021 is represented by valedictorian Rebecca Atkins and salutatorian Candace Squire. Congratulations to both of you on this outstanding achievement. At this time, the freedoms we enjoy in the United States of America are protected and enforced by the members of our armed forces. I would first like to take this opportunity to ask any active duty members of our armed forces, as well as veterans, to please stand and be recognized. We thank you all for your service. The graduating class of 2021 has 2 members who have chosen to enter the military. We are thankful for their commitment and dedication to protecting those rights we hold most sacred. As your name and branch are called, please stand to be recognized. Elijah Gomez, United States Navy. And Matthew Love, United States Army. Thank you for your service and commitment. Now for the time we've all been waiting for.
Thank you, Mrs. King. Dr. Krupe, Board of Education President Mrs. Laura Adkins, members of the Board of Education, parents, grandparents, family members, and friends of the class of 2021. We are pleased to announce each of the seniors assembled has met the requirements for graduation from Hazel Park High School set forth by the state of Michigan and the Department of Education, and are candidates for graduation. As we read off each student's name, we will present them with their diploma. At this time, we welcome our counselors, Mrs. Jocelyn Casselou, Mrs. Andrea Grove, and Mrs. Lindsay Mitchell, to the podium to read the names of each candidate for graduation before they are presented with their diploma.
Ready? Noura Taha Tahir. Rebecca Ruth Adkins. Kayla Alexander. Kayla Marie Elkatib. Alexis Angelich. Joshua Caleb Aliff. Jason Tyler Benavides. Elijah Brown. Brendan Broadbridge. Tremaine Donnell Brown. Taylor Artesia Nicole Barrett. Fatumata Barrow. Tanae Rochelle Brewer. Emily Anna Maria Brown. Kennedy Dupree Burse. Trayvon Lee Clay. Dejan Amari Cook. Charles Antoine DeCash. Ethan George Davenich. Matthew James Diaz. Christina Marie Cardinal. Lizanne Marie Chamberlain. Aaliyah Marie Dean. Cheyenne Marie Dorsey. Nivani Gabrielle Drake. Ian Jeffrey Irwin. Mark Daniel Irwin. Timothy Lamar Fairley II. Caden Firstel. Anthony James Fomby.
Daisy Mae Duke. Sally Esho. Jocelyn Alexandria Foster. Shakori Maxine Foster. Sarah Catherine Gajos. Gabriel Scott Fortress. Kavian Dazamonte Gaskin. Anthony Giorgenti. Jacob Duncan Graham. Travion Antoine Graham. Chloe Shanice Gaston. Kelly Kaya Cameron Garland Caffey. Keontae Geiger. Vanessa Marie Gent. Luca Isabella Griffith. Reese Alexander Gilmet.
Colin Michael Hampton. Robert J. Hickner. Christopher E. Hofacker. Antonio Maurice Hood. Madison Renee Hallis. JC Marie Hammonds. Jenna Elise Hart. Brianna Simone Holmes. Taylor Marie Jasper Daniel. Caleb Horrell. Nathan James Jackson. Malik Devon Johnson. Elijah Alejandro Gomez. Junior Muntu Kongolo. Jasmine Marie Johns. Courtney Lee Kobeski. Mary Ann Cole. Alina Koshiba. Dawn Elizabeth Amber Lane. Makai Cruz. Caleb Lamberts. Ezel Long. Matthew Clark Love. Shek Ibra Njai. Michaela Melina Maxwell. Paige Musarelli. Paige Panayota Nicolau. Mariana Oroja. Jada Page. Gordon Phipps. Anthony John Peligian. Kylan Avion Leo Demarion Price. James Prince.
Angel Rodriguez. Caitlin Elizabeth Cochran. Peyton Elizabeth Poteet. Riley Elizabeth Purden. Kirsten Lee Sanders. Shaunis Ayana Shannon. Anthony James Swanitz. Nathan Suyeret. Cole Stats. Malik Xander Stone. James Swift III. Jada Marianne Shekels. Brianna Monet Smith. Ready, Brooklyn? Brooklyn Spivey. Candace Ann Squire. Maye Khalifa Fatima T. Lance Donald Taylor Jr. Michael James Thompson Jr. Rashad Dalen Turner. Joshua Caleb Untenar. Austin Watson. Marcia Mariah Thompson. Denise Thorington. Faith Ariana Tompkins. Kennedy Lynn Vignew. Jaya Jessia White Buford. Dominic Antoine Wilson Jr. Joseph Patrick Wright. Dion Maurice Young. Sergio Najib Youssef. Sydney Jemiah Whitfield. Kennedy Maria Williams. Christia Marlise Nicole Williams. Leah Ann Wilson. Yuna Munder Yasser.
Class of 2021, please rise. The turning of the tassel on the graduation cap is a widely celebrated symbolic tradition demonstrating transition of a candidate for graduation to an official graduate. Dr. Krupe, members of the Board of Education, Hazel Park High School staff, families, and community members, it is my honor to present to you the graduated class of 2021. You may now turn your tassel from right to left. Congratulations. At this time, please be seated. Rebecca Adkins, our valedictorian, will offer closing remarks.
Class of 2021. If there's one thing I have learned throughout my high school years, it's that labels mean absolutely nothing. I've worked so hard throughout the years to create a glowing list of achievements, and when I was finally given the honor of being this year's valedictorian, nothing changed. The truth is, every single person here has worked just as hard, but in different ways for different things. Being valedictorian, class president, student council president, and all the other labels given to me this year, it was pretty much a given that I would be speaking here today. Honestly though, the words didn't come easy, as the year we've had is virtually indescribable. It's not easy to look at the positives when there's so much we missed out on while sitting in front of a screen for the majority of what was supposed to be the best year of our lives. As I stand in front of one of the most persevering graduating classes this school has ever seen, I can't help but imagine the plethora of successes we will have to celebrate in the years to come. This was a year that was supposed to be full of bittersweet last times, but unfortunately we had already experienced many of them without even knowing. Now that our high school experience is officially over, we can look back on some of the things we will never forget. I like to think that 5 years from now, if someone mentions the Cold War, I'll reminisce on the intense capture the flag game we played in Miss Mousie's class as a reenactment. Or if I'm watching a soccer game on TV, I'll think about the way I fell in love with a new sport in just 4 years, thanks to Mr. Dixon, who practically forced me to play. My point is, each and every one of us had a unique high school experience that will not be forgotten. With the effects of COVID, we are left wondering what things would have been like if we had had a normal experience. A year and a half ago, my lifelong best friend, Emily, had to up and leave the country for what we thought would be a month. I haven't seen her in over a year now, and it breaks my heart that she's not here to graduate with us today. Last year, we were ecstatic when we got to go home for an extra break that we thought would be just 2 weeks long. We didn't return until a year later. Life is full of curveballs and things we simply cannot control, but what we can control is how we handle them. We have grown into such a strong group of young adults, and whether you are off to college, trade school, the workforce, or to honor our country, the future is so bright. Whatever it is you're excited about now that you're graduated, whether it's moving on to college or the fact that you never have to check Google Classroom or deal with a Chromebook again, I want you to remember this feeling. Remember this feeling and let it fuel your future. I sincerely hope that each and every one of you finds a path towards doing something you love. The days of being overly stressed and sleep deprived are coming to an end. Of course, unless you're going to be a major procrastinator in college, because me too. And many of you might be thinking, this girl is crazy, my future job is going to be stressful too, it's all going to be hard. Working hard for something we don't care about is stressful. Working hard for something we love is passion. As we go off into the future in search of our passion, don't forget what got us started. I encourage you to thank your friends, family, teachers, coaches, and anyone who helped you become the person you are today. With that said, congratulations to the class of 2021. We did it. Class of 2021, please stand.
Thank you.